What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to Mobile Suit Gundam F90 Fastest Formula. Last time, we jumped from UC-112 to UC-115, where Gideon rejoins the new F90 project, the fastest formula. After the accident in UC-112, he learns that Liv is still alive, going by the name Dur. Gideon is promoted to Mobile Suit Commander and Liv's mentor. In this episode, F90 takes on its biggest rival, both in terms of power and in terms of its business prospects. The team heads to Side 2, where the Rona family is growing in power, and the Oldsmobiles attack with another Axis mobile suit. So let's get into this. UC-115. The Space Arc refit the Maglabra. The commander looks over the G-Custom. Ensign Arthur Knightley is talking to his commander, Lieutenant Veronica Vernon, of the Wajidai's Corps. They have been monitoring F90 recently. They are part of Anaheim Electronics' Silhouette Formula project and are tasked with stealing SNRI's engineering secrets. A Commander Rivera Amalgam comes in and yells at Veronica. She seems to not let it get to her. At SNRI's ship, Hajime feels like a sidekick to Dur as he gets all the glory. But Gideon tells him, "Hey man, we are Japanese. That's not the collectivist mindset. I mean, hey man, we're EFF. Actually, same thing, different group." But Hajime says he is the main character of this story. Unfortunately, he is not. He sees that Usadai is going into Dur's quarters. Hajime is like, "Aw man, he even gets all the mommies as well. It's not fair." Dur launches in the F90 NF type. The NF type is the combination of the N type and the fight type. The F90F Gundam F90 fight type is a short-range fighting type mission pack. Its main armament is the forearm-mounted arm fighting equipment, which generate needle-shaped beams when activated. It has a backpack with 2 large thrusters, giving it the mobility of a fighter. Besides the arm fighting equipment, it is equipped with a beam saber in each hand. The Wajidai Corps is spying on Dur and his new loadout as they do a rescue mission. A few days later, they monitor the MB type, which is the N type with the Bombard type. They are amazed by the power of this loadout. The N type Psychomu allows each attack to pinpoint the most critical spots on the enemy to optimize their bombardment. Veronica and Arthur talk about how even though the F90 was chosen by the Federation, it didn't win against the Draig. It merely tied. She was the former pilot of the Draig. Later they note that the new mobile suit pilot isn't testing today. Dur has some time off and he decides to spend his time with the Queen Mansa pilot. The mobile suit pilot he took down last episode is still alive. They seem to have a new type connection. Gideon in F90 and Hajime launch and attack 3 Nemos. Hajime gets cocky and rushes in, but the enemy gets the upper hand on his cannon Gundam. An unknown mobile suit comes out of nowhere and attacks him. The ship loses signal with Hajime. Dur consensus back on the ship. They finally get signal to find a hole right through the G-Cannon's cockpit. It was done by the Draig. The MSA-120 Draig is an Anaheim Electronics mobile suit that is based on the Heavygun. This competed against the F90 to be the next mobile suit for EFF. This was a simulated competition and the two tied, but the Federation went with SNRI's F90 over the Draig. However, they did integrate features of the Draig into the F91. It has the new vaporizing applique armor, which dissipates beam blasts instead of deflecting them. It also uses the high impact gun, which is a precision railgun. Other weapons include a hyper mega launcher and a beam saber. Veronica, spying on the team, is stunned to see Anaheim Electronics mobile suit here. Universal Century 122. Berg is taking out a Mars Xeon Zagok. The OM-SM-07RF Zagok is based off of Xeon's original Zagok. Its ground capabilities are also greatly improved, and in addition to better mobility on the ground, it also has enhanced firepower with the original Zagok's arm-mounted claws, being replaced by the heat claws with integrated beam cannons. Other weapons include 6 anti-ship missiles, a beam shower, which is like the scattering beam gun, and a beam cannon in the claws. He takes care of the Oldsmobile forces in the Pacific, and they are trying to head back into space and head to a Federation spaceport. Berg wonders where the V-Type mission pack is, but Help Hayden comes in and tells him not to rely too much on the V-Type. He has something for him to use. As Berg listens to Help talk about the F90, he realizes that he really cares about the Gundam. Help is a dick to Berg. He is a dick in general during this time, so something went down in UC-115 that made him this way outside of just the loss of Patsy. In the sky, several Oldsmobiles are sliced in half. Above them is Berg and the Warbird type. The F90 W Gundam F90 Warbird type is a transformable flight form mission pack. This has an experimental Minovsky drive system with beam wings. In this form, the legs and arms function as the landing gear, so it typically remains in flight form and rarely transforms. He transforms from flight mode to mobile suit mode. He takes out the remaining Zagoks and helps his comrades. They complete their mission and head back to the Garuda. The shuttle takes off, but Lieutenant Wilder stays behind to prevent any remaining ships from attacking the shuttle launch. As they take off, Lieutenant Wilder is killed by a Danan Zan. Oh snap, we forgot to break this down during F91. The XM-01 Danan Zan is considered the first true mass-produced miniaturized mobile suit, though the Federation will claim it is the Heavygun. This is developed by Bucconcern to be used with the first generation of Crossbone Vanguard. This was a superior mobile suit until the war between the Federation and Crossbone Vanguard began, as this was designed for colony and urban invasions. The Shot Lancer became a key player in combat and became a standard up until UC-153. The Shot Lancer also has a machine gun. Other weapons include a beam saber, dual beam guns, and a beam shield/beam flag emitter. UC-115. The Draig is keeping Gideon on the defensive. The mobile suit shoots down Ainsbury. No, not Ainsbury, not him. The Draig's gun is something he hasn't seen before. He gets a sit rep on the high-impact gun used by the Draig that only the Draig can handle. Gideon is able to dodge some attacks, and the Draig pilot is impressed. Gideon fires, but his beams vaporize due to the vaporizing anti-beam coating. He can't get a hit on him, and it is like the pilot knew about the F90. He goes by the name Cypher. Dur wants to go out in a secret unit, but Help says it is just for testing. That is when Usadai pulls a gun on him. It doesn't faze him, and he says that mommy won't pull the trigger. He's taking therapy lessons from the Homelander School of Mental Health. Even the Queen Mansa pilot says that he shouldn't go out, but he goes anyways. Cypher takes out the F90's left arm. That is when Dur comes in with the new Heavygun full equipment type. The RGM-109 Heavygun full equipment type is a variant of the Heavygun with added mid-range support weapons. These can be purged during combat to become a regular Heavygun. Weapons include Vulcan guns, a beam saber, a quadruple grenade rack, a 9-tube missile launcher, a quad machine cannon, a double beam gun, a double beam cannon, and a short beam launcher. Cypher can sense that this is the F90's true pilot. Dur drops the missile pods around the Draig. He gets close, but the high-impact gun is pointed right at him. The gun is suddenly destroyed by a sniper. It is Veronica in the G Custom. Commander Rivera refuses to give Veronica any intel on the Draig, so she treats it like an enemy until told otherwise. Malicious compliance, I like it. She even erases the log files so that no one knows this ever happened. Gideon goes to Dur, who is mad that he lost the battle. UC-0093. The Axis falls to Earth, and Amado prevents it from falling. Everyone comes to help. In Char's counterattack, the Lunar 2 fleet came to help Londo Bell, but were too late. It seems Jabjan was a part of that fleet. Boschweller comes to help out. Everyone wants to help Axis, but Amado pushes everyone away. That is when the Psycho Field emerges, and Axis is pushed away from the Earth. 22 years later, an older Jabjan meets with an older Boschweller. Bosch salutes him even though he is now in the public sector. Old habits die hard. He has found a candidate from the Instructor Corps. Job says that Amado, like this candidate, was a normal person. If it weren't for the circumstances of the 1-year war, he wouldn't have unlocked his new type potential. Side 2, Amelia Colony. The Rockhylium class ship docks with the colony. Usadai tells the captain that they got word of a ship docking on the opposite side. Remember, both sides of an O'Neill colony have docks with a giant corridor in the center of the colony, which acts as a service tunnel. It happens to be Veronica and the Anaheim Electronics team. Also exploring the colony is Gideon. He meets with the Commander Lee, who explains to him why he was chosen for the fastest formula. They want him to command a new type corps, but he is just a simple old type. She lets Gideon know that Dur isn't the only new type that they are looking at. She shows him a list of other test subjects. One of them is Massimo Muerte, who happens to be their prisoner. They want to usher in a new era of new types, and says it is their responsibility now that Laplace's box has been opened. Bro, that was so long ago, no one cares. On TV, Houtsity Rona is trying to justify taxing the poor by claiming it is to help build Side 2. While everyone yells at the TV, Veronica reflects on the Draig. The Draig was supposed to be this generation's version of the Rick Diaz in terms of ingenuity. The first test pilot died during testing. Veronica became the pilot and lost to F90, and the project was buried. So why is it showing up? Once people find out she is from the moon, someone breaks a glass over her head. They went from 0 to 10 real fast. Remind me not to visit Side 2. Also in the bar happens to be Dur. Wait, how old is he? Why is he in a bar? The two of them flee. Everywhere around the colony has Rona propaganda. They stop in an alleyway where they introduce one another. Veronica says he has pretty eyes. He wants to get her to the hospital. Dur gives her his coat to wear. As they walk, they notice a Zaku 2. They are still in use for random mobile worker purposes. In this case, as a delivery vehicle for Anaheim Electronics. But something isn't right. If they were mobile workers, they wouldn't be heading in that direction. He thinks it might be Oldsmobiles. He puts one guard in a headlock to find that he had G3 gas grenades on him. These are definitely terrorists. He tells her to head back as he won't be able to escort her. He lets her know that he is the Gundam pilot, not realizing that she is a competitor. Why'd you even mention anything? This isn't a small terrorist attack. This seems like a full-on operation based on the men they have. He knocks out another man and takes the Zaku. He finds out there are 4 other active mobile suits in the area. Dur sends the team a message. It seems like they are after the ship. They wonder where Gideon is. He happens to be stuck in traffic inside the colony. The captain wonders what they have up their sleeves. One of the Xeon remnants, Kitchener, is ready to take down the Federation and seems to have bloodlust. He mentions an interplanetary mobile armor. Durr notes that the Oldsmobiles are on par with the Jagan. He is still able to take out all but an RF Gyan. That is when a giant beam blast hits the Rockhyloom class port side. It happens to be a Jimru fan with an additional booster added. The captain says to release him, as they don't have Durr right now. As Durr takes on the mobile suit, the F89 comes out to help. It happens to be piloted by the prisoner, Misma. Meanwhile, back on Veronica's Space Ark ship, she has been given orders not to intervene. And that will do it for this episode. We get to see more of the integration between the N-type mission pack and other mission packs. It's like a pass-through mission pack that gives you new type upgrades. Durr is suffering from extreme mommy issues, and Char can hear it on the other side of the Zeknova event, and he likes what he hears. Next time, Berg learns about Dorito Gundam, also known as Kasai Gundam, and how it will be the biggest mobile suit before things start getting smaller. We will see the VSBR type in action, which will be the stepping stone for the VSBR for F91. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, burying your mommy issues and other mommies is only a temporary solution. Peace.